Good evening or good afternoon, everybody. So welcome to the executive meeting for 7th of October 2021. Welcome to visitors and welcome to newcomers. First of all, agenda item number 1 is apologies for absence, and there have been no apologies for absence today. Agenda item 2 is the minutes, and I would like to recommend that the public minutes E/23/9/21 to E/34/9/21 of the meeting of the executive held on the 14th of September 2021 be confirmed and approved by the chairman as a correct record of those proceedings. So copies have been previously circulated, and I'd like to make that recommendation. And could I have a? Oh, I see. I do that. I thought you said we did that later. Okay. I'd just like to add a couple of words which will actually be a truer reflection of what was said verbally. So, in 26/9/21, to add the words "as suggested," so that it mirrors the answer to the previous question, which was that I was not seeking to enforce the local plan as suggested. So it's adding the words "as suggested" to after the local plan, which otherwise is not at all what I intended, or indeed I did say. So if everybody is agreeable to making that amendment, would somebody like to propose? I'll propose it. If you would second it, thank you very much. So. Is everybody in agreement to agree the minutes? Councillor Robinson. Sorry? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then, should I put this on right now or later? No, I'll do that. Agenda item 3 is declarations of interest. This is to receive declarations of interest in the nature of any private interests, disposable, pecuniary or otherwise from councillors. Are there any declarations of interest for any agenda items this evening? No. Councillor Tonkin, no. Thank you very much. There are no declarations of interest tonight. And agenda item 4 is questions and representations from the public. And we do have one question from Mr. Davis tonight, so please would you come to the microphone and ask the question.
Thank you. On the 4th of May 2021, I received requested by a freedom of information request through the council details and a copy of the report commissioned by Eden Council using local estate funding into the Newtonry College estate and the future usage of the site, conducted in 2019, and details of how and who authorised the report to be conducted in Eden Council. On 15th of September 2021, I received a letter from Eden Council confirming that Eden Council holds the information related to the request made. Eden Council also confirmed that the report was authorised by a strategic advisor for the Council. However, the Council do not hold and have any details of who authorised the process. Despite the report paid for by public money into Newton site by Eden Council, the Council has refused to disclose the report, saying the report was never intended to be in the public domain and that the report is commercially confidential. The Council has also refused to disclose any part the Council had in the closure and sale of Newton Rig announced weeks after the report was completed in the usage of the land at Newton Rig, as commissioned and paid for by Newton Council. Can the leader please explain why, despite Newton Rig now being closed and sold, the Council the report and the council's part in the closure of Wheaton Rig. This report commissioned by Eden Council played in those events.
Thank you, Mr Davis. So this report was commissioned in an attempt to support Askham Bryan College in developing a plan to make Newton Rig College viable. Askham Bryan decided not to take this forward and instead took steps to close the college. As the report contains information relating to the confidentiality of commercial or industrial information regarding Askham Bryan College's activities, it is not appropriate for this document to be released by the Council. The Council played no part in the decision to close Newton Rig. Indeed, we, with others, made every effort to persuade Askham Bryan not to do so. Do you want a supplementary?
Thank you for that reply. It will come as no surprise to the leader in the council. I have seen the contents of the report and the land usage outlined in the report. It was evident from the report's suggestion for the land usage of Newton Rig campus that there was more value to Askham Bryan to sell the development land rather than to retain education at the site. It is also evident that the report closely mirrors plans put forward in 2018 that link back to the Penrith Master Plan and the opposition to the proposed strategic master plan for Penrith by members of this administration with the support of the founder of keeping the Penrith Special Group. While the opposition to the proposed plan was focusing everyone's attention at the Hilton Beacon, a sleight of hand trick was taking place behind everyone's back. In the closed group meetings proposed to build a road across open green spaces through rural villages to the south of Penrith. And the use of the Newton Rig site was a location for a major housing and industrial development. Now, this administration came into office in 2019, supporting and with the support of the Keeping Penrith Special Group's aims to scrap Penrith's strategic master plan. But the executive action shortly after taking charge of Eden Council. Shortly after the master plan was abandoned, despite the ongoing needs of housing in the area, and the now random developments taking place with worldwide infrastructure delivery, this administration commissioned a report into the Newton Rig campus land usage, linked to alternative master plan proposals by Penrith Special Founder in 2018-19. The report outlined the usage of the large-scale housing development and big box industrial usage, with a single building suggested for education usage. We know that shortly after the report was concluded, Askham Bryan made its announcement to the closure of the campus and disposal of the site. The report obviously highlighted the cash asset value of development was the catalyst for this action. Given the failure to deliver any master plan for the area and acting as a catalyst for the closure of Newton Rig, there's a long list of failures of the administration compounded by the council now who hired its third CEO in 2 years, paid more than the PM, and the ongoing failures of the Green House project that will see the executive tonight progress more expenditure. My question is, does the leader agree it's time to draw a line under the failures of this administration under her leadership and to do the right thing for the people of Penrith, people of Eden and the communities in it, and resign?
I don't think I need a written answer to say I have no intention of resigning. This is a successful administration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions and representations from members? There are none tonight. And agenda item 6, the single site programme delivery of the house. So this report is in the resources portfolio, so I'll ask Councillor Green to present.
Thank you, Chair. This report relates to Council's long-standing mission to consolidate council operations onto a single site. It is centred on Vereda House, but set in the context of a programme of activity that also includes other council office facilities. The initial business case for the single site programme was established many years ago and was supported by a capital programme allocation of £2.3 million in April 2018. Since then, members have been actively involved in shaping the delivery of our ambition, initially through the purchase of Vereda House and closely followed by the development of the specification for the refurbishment of the building and the ongoing OJEU procurement process for the appointment of a construction contractor. Throughout this process, the case for progressing the project has remained strong, as it is clearly aligned with the delivery of our corporate priorities. More recently, the local government review has further strengthened the case and emphasised the importance of retaining public sector jobs in Penrith to continue to deliver the best possible services for the people and partners of Eden. Members have been circulated the report, which highlights the key project deliverables, which are outlined in section 4.1.1. But I would emphasise that our current split site office accommodation is currently not fit for purpose and is certainly not adequate to satisfy our future needs for the community, partners, members and staff. The current arrangements are not energy efficient. The operational costs involved in maintaining a split site operation are increasing and energy costs are escalating. Current arrangements cannot satisfy the need to secure a public service hub for our residents, partners and communities that we serve. I would also draw your attention to section 4.2 of the report. The contractor procurement process needs to reflect the building specification changes resulting from the local government reorganisation and the revised external treatment of the building. These changes now require direct discussions with the contractor to complete the procurement process and, subject to approval, award the contract. The OJEU procurement rules allow for this to take place via a negotiated procedure. This procedure, Regulation 32, lets you clarify bids with bidders after their submission of initial tenders. And Section 7 of the report, which outlines the project costs. The project costs have been compiled as a result of market response to the tendering process, project team discussions with suppliers, and the current market conditions for the construction industry. I am confident that these costs will enable us to deliver the requirements of the project and that, subject to approval, these can be accommodated through a variation to the capital programme. I would also emphasise that the February 2018 capital allocation of £2.3 million has not been subject to any revision since it was put in place 3.5 years ago. Current construction market conditions are significantly different, as described in section 4.3.2. Finally, I would urge Executive to approve the recommendations as outlined in section 2 of the report, as I believe it is vital to secure public sector jobs in Penrith contribute to a strong local economy, demonstrate our commitment to reducing carbon emissions, and provide the best possible public services directly to our communities. Thank you, Chair, and I would welcome any questions from colleagues.
Thank you. Councillor Greenwood, does anyone have a question to ask for Councillor Greenwood? In which case, could I ask somebody to second the... Thank you, Councillor Ronald. And if anybody has any debate they would like, I would just like to say that, you know, at Penrith Town Council's meeting last week, I was really pleased to hear their commitment to retaining local government jobs in Penrith and the development of a state-of-the-art building for public service jobs and for community facilities is obviously a way to ensure that that happens, and even District Council is very happy to be delivering that for Penrith and for Eden. I think, additionally, now that we're talking about anchor institutions as being the ways to develop the wider economy, then there are ever increasingly more reasons why this was a wise decision for EDC. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just echo Councillor Greenwood's points and your points. It's important for our future generations, and especially for retaining public sector jobs at a time like this. We just, yeah. And I just wanted to pick up the points, I think it's in 7.5, about crime and disorder and the children safeguarding, and the fact that there will be, community spaces where there's joint working and partnership working to be able to respond more quickly and effectively to people in our community. I think is absolutely vital to be able to have those services.
Thank you. Anybody else? So, just the recommendations again. So it's recommended that, and if we can take these all together, I think, that we authorise the extension of the current procurement process, including the negotiation process, and delegate authority to the Deputy Chief Executive in consultation with the leader and portfolio holder for resources to appoint the contractor, subject to the variation of the capital programme specified in 2.13. And 213 recommends that Council approve the variation of the capital programme for Vereda House. So, may I have votes in that? Thank you very much. So that concludes the main business for tonight. If there are any other items which the Chairman decides are urgent, Councillor Tonkin.
Yeah, when I arrived this evening, I actually let two members of the public in by the back door, which had been pouring down. It would have been quite difficult. Surely the front door can be left open.
Would you like to comment on that? We'll look into it. And the date of the next scheduled meeting is confirmed as the 19th of October 2021. So thank you everybody, and I hope it is a